When you change your diet, you throw your body a curveball, which can sometimes result in constipation. If this has been your experience when you changed your diet to a low carb or keto diet, we are going to provide you with 10 natural remedies that you can use to get things going.
So this is not an issue for everyone, but we do hear about constipation when on a ketogenic diet in our members forum, in our coaching program, and in our YouTube comments on kind of a fairly regular basis.
Yeah, and so first thing that always comes to our mind is, are you getting enough electrolytes? Electrolytes are things like magnesium, potassium, sodium, and when you go on a low carb or keto diet, your body will not hold in as much water. Electrolytes follow water out of your body, so you will be flushing them out much quicker. You need to replenish them for specific reasons. Some of the specific electrolytes help prevent constipation.
Right. So potassium is one of the big things. Now, potassium is an electrolyte that helps convey the signals from your brain to your smooth muscle of your gut, and it's going to help kind of with those contractions to keep things moving along.
Yeah, and magnesium is another electrolyte that we lose that is important for preventing constipation. I always refer to it as mellow magnesium, right? Because it mellows us out, it relaxes our muscles, it relaxes our mood, it helps us sleep, it relaxes our bowel so that we can get those contractions. It also will pull water into the stools and soften the stools, so magnesium will help you as well. What we use is Endure electrolyte supplement, and we will point to all of these products in our description area below if you're interested in any of them.
And we've been using that for probably 3 years now.
Yeah, you and I use this daily.
Yeah.
I do. You do?
Almost daily.
Yeah, because you're you.
Yeah.
One of the great things about the electrolytes is it helps your body stay hydrated, which parlays right into step number 2.
Drink water.
Yeah.
8 glasses minimum water. And I'll admit I don't get that all the time either, but you just need to have that water. You're losing, you're on a keto diet, you don't have the carb intake, so you burn through glycogen storage, you're not holding water. You've got to replenish that on a regular basis.
And one of the tricks I do in the morning, I get up, first thing I do is I put about 12 drops of this in a glass of water and I chug it down. So I've already got 1 glass of water before my first cup of coffee.
Yep, you're up on me already.
Yeah. All right, and then another thing is vegetables. So we tend to overlook vegetables sometimes when we're on a ketogenic diet. Obviously very good for adding bulk and fiber, which are going to help move things through your system much better. And when you're looking at low carb vegetables, you want to look for ones that have a good fiber to carb ratio. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about with that. So here is about a cup, maybe 40 grams of leafy greens. Leafy greens have a great fiber to carb ratio. What is it? Like if this were about a 2-cup serving, about 85 grams, has a 1 gram of...
Show that to the camera better.
1 gram of fiber to 3 grams of carbohydrate. Asparagus is one of our family favorites, right? We make it when people come over all the time, or we just make it because it's so easy to make. You can steam it, you can throw it in your oven and roast it, you can put it on the grill and make it. And it has a really good fiber to carb ratio. I believe it's something like 2 to 3. 2 grams of fiber to 3 grams of carbohydrates. And
we wrap ours with bacon sometimes.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Yeah, so don't be afraid to put fats with your vegetables. It helps not only with the taste, but it also helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins and minerals in it.
Right.
Cauliflower, another very versatile vegetable that you can work into a ketogenic diet, and has a good favorable fiber to carb ratio, 2 to 5 or something like that. But you can rice it, you can mash it, you can just steam it and eat it.
Yeah. Then there's obviously some other vegetables here. So broccoli is a good keto vegetable. Celery, even sauerkraut, which is a fermented cabbage, and which that fermentation makes it also good for your gut health. We like to use sauerkraut in a couple different dishes. I'll even get some kimchi every now and then at the grocery store that's kind of a little bit spicy, and it's the same thing. It's kind of the fermented cabbage. But that, being good for your gut health is going to kind of help get things going and move things along as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say that we use all of these vegetables on a regular basis. These are all part of our 21-day keto challenge, which those daily menus do not have more than 25 total carbs each day. So my point being, you can work vegetables in very easily into a ketogenic diet.
Right. So next on our list is psyllium husk powder, which is right here. Psyllium husk powder is I think it's a 1-to-1 fiber to carb ratio. It is very high in fiber. In fact, it's the active ingredient in Metamucil, which most people are familiar with. It's an over-the-counter laxative. Yeah, laxative. Yeah. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful with Metamucil. I mean, it is kind of a processed thing. Their sugar-free version actually has maltodextrin in it, which is another word for sugar.
It is,
right?
Yeah. Or you can get the sugar brand, which we don't want to do either.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're going to go with psyllium husk, I would. Another thing I would add is that psyllium husk is subjected to a lot of pesticides. I would go with the organic. Actually, I would go with this brand. We've used this for years in our house. So I would go for the natural organic psyllium husk.
Right. Another thing that we use is chia seed. Comes in a package like that. Very high in fiber. You can mix it into a lot of different things. In fact, when you mix it,
right,
it kind of turns into a gel.
Yeah. So here, I don't know how well this is going to show, but I put 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in 3 tablespoons of water just a little bit ago, and this is what happens to it. So this is what it is happening inside of your body when you take in these chia seeds. As you can see, it gels up really well. So that's going to add a lot of bulk. It's going to pull water into your intestines, which is going to help soften the stool and help you go to the bathroom.
Right. And you can eat it just like that, but you would typically
Yeah, but you can mix it any type. It'll absorb any type of liquid. A great way to eat it is to mix it up in some yogurt. Let it stand for about 10. I usually let it stand for about 10 minutes and just kind of gel up a little bit. Makes it much more hearty and enjoyable.
Right. MCT oil is the next thing, and that's been a staple of ours for the last 2.5, 3 years too. So it does have a laxative effect. Not everybody experiences that. I really haven't experienced too much of that. But it can have a laxative effect. We do hear that sometimes in the comments. The typical dosage of this is a tablespoon. So we always recommend for people to start with a teaspoon. That's 1/3 of a tablespoon. Mix it in your coffee or tea or whatever, and kind of gradually work up to that tablespoon. The great thing about MCTs is because they are the shorter length chains of fatty acids. They go straight from your gut right to the liver. They're burned for energy. They're really beneficial.
Yeah. So that is certainly something for you to give a try with. Yacon Syrup is also something, I don't know if you've heard of, but we actually did a video on Yacon Syrup. And we did that video because it is heralded as a keto-friendly sweetener and very beneficial for dealing with constipation. It has hunger satiating elements. It inhibits ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, right? If your belly's growling, it's ghrelin. So it actually inhibits that, so it can help with hunger. And very impressive research on Yacon Syrup handling constipation.
And it's really good if you dip bacon into it.
Yeah, right. So I was looking for our Yacon Syrup from the last video that we had done, and
long gone.
It's long gone because you used it as a bacon dip,
yes,
which is great.
Bacon dip.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're looking for a bacon dip and constipation reliever, there you go. All right. Next, we have digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes are already inside of you. They are what your system uses to break down the fats, proteins, and carbohydrates that you eat. So if you take a digestive enzyme, it will just be like sending more troops in. So this would probably be worth trying if you're also experiencing some other issues, like you eat a meal, even if it's like a healthy meal, with vegetables or something like that in it, and you feel bloated, you get gassy, and you're also experiencing constipation. This would maybe be a route for you to take.
Something to try.
And next we have probiotics. And probiotics, do you want to talk about them at all?
Right. So probiotics are the beneficial bacteria that are already in your gut. They help digest things. They help transform the foods into the things that we need. They're great for your, we talk about the microbiome or the microbiota a lot. Probiotics are going to be the thing that feeds that. And specifically, Bifidobacterium lactis is one that has been shown to help increase gut motility.
Yeah, there was a systematic review study that showed that bacteria in particular was extremely beneficial for helping to move food through the system. Now, I will give a fair warning about probiotics. You have to get a high quality probiotic. For instance, this probiotic, and what you want to look for is you want to look for tens of billions of CFUs, which is colony forming units, and you want to look for a variety of different bacteria. So this one, for instance, which we get off of Amazon, has the Bifidobacterium that Keith was talking about, and it has other ones as well. This one that we just picked up, just from the local pharmacy, does not have that beneficial Bifidobacterium.
It's only got a couple of probiotics in it.
So buyer beware, look for a good brand if you are going to go the probiotic route.
Right.
And lastly, we have the 10th way is really dealing with a non-food, non-supplement ideas.
Right. So you may need to be looking at your core musculature, your conditioning, because that is going to help. Say your core muscles. If you have been, let's say you've been obese for a while, you may have expanded that abdominal wall and those muscles, and they may not be as strong, providing that support that you need to help that gut motility go along.
Yeah, so some of the ability to go to the bathroom is dependent on our voluntary core muscles. So if they have been weakened over the years, or you just have weak core muscles, that might be something that you need to work on.
Right. Walking.
Yeah.
Walking is not specifically going to strengthen your core muscles, but it does help with motility. So, going for a brisk walk, maybe a couple times a day. I would suggest, if you're trying to get things moving, that you don't walk too far. So make it little short trips, so
Right.
that you're not far away when the urge hits you.
Great. Sound advice.
Yes.
And the last thing that you should take a look at is medications. There are certain medications that will certainly have a side effect of constipation.
Right. So you've got some opioids.
Opioid pain medications certainly have that effect.
Yeah, tricyclic antidepressants. You've got some of your
certain blood pressure medications,
right.
Even some over-the-counter
right.
pain medicines. If you look at the side effects of them, NSAIDs, Motrin, Advil will have a possible side effect of constipation. So if these are things that you're just taking regular, you may want to talk with your doctor about your medication and if that is a potential to cause constipation. And to kind of elaborate on that, if you try these home remedies, they're not working for you, you really do need to dial in your doctor so that they know what's going on and they can help you diagnose your problem.
Right.
And we will say that we have all of these on our Amazon affiliate shop, so we will point to them if you're interested in any of these home remedies. We also have a weight loss coaching program where we have a forum that we participate in and help to guide people with their specific issues. So if you're interested in that, we'll leave links for that as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Crack open the Yacon Syrup. I'm getting the bacon.